All right, welcome to the Explainer. So today we're tackling a huge one, maybe one of the biggest questions out there right now, and we're going to look at it through the lens of a really, really fascinating new theory of intelligence.
I mean, you've seen this, right? We've all seen it. An AI spits out a poem that feels, well, lonely. Or an image generator cooks up something so beautiful it almost breaks your heart. And you can't help but ask, is is there someone in there? You know? Can these things actually feel sad or happy or afraid?
Well, here's the twist. According to this really powerful new model, intelligence frame theory, that's just the wrong question entirely. We've been looking in the wrong place. See, the answer isn't about more processing power or some magical algorithm. It's about the fundamental architecture. It's about the blueprint. Yeah, to really get why AI can't feel, we have to do something kind of counterintuitive. We have to stop looking at the AI and turn the camera back on ourselves. We have to look at this weird, messy, brilliant machine we're all walking around with. Because the secret to why an AI will never feel sad is actually locked inside the very reason that we do.
Okay, so let's start asking the right question. Forget can AI feel for a second. The real question is, what even is an emotion? What is a feeling? And this is where intelligence frame theory just blows the doors off the whole conversation. It says that intelligence, all intelligence, operates inside these distinct frames, almost like different operating systems. And for us humans, there are two that are just absolutely everything. So, first up, you've got the biological frame. You can think of this as your ancient hardware. It's the deep, primal intelligence of your body, and it's been beta tested for millions of years. Its entire job is survival. It's obsessed with saving energy, avoiding danger, and it only cares about what's happening right now. Its whole world is built on three pillars: scarcity, fragility, and, well, the fact that you're not going to live forever. But then, running right on top of that ancient hardware, you've got the cognitive frame. This is the new, shiny software, the intelligence of your conscious mind. This is the part that does all the crazy stuff: abstract thought, language, worrying about next Tuesday, building these elaborate stories about who you are and what the world is. Its logic is all about symbols, ideas, and what feels like infinite possibilities. And this, right here, this is what it means to be human. As far as we know, we are the only thing in the universe running these two completely different, often contradictory operating systems at the same time, inside one single body. You are living smack dab in the middle of this messy, beautiful, chaotic intersection. So what does that actually feel like? Well, imagine trying to run Windows 95 and, I don't know, the latest iOS on the same phone. It's a constant battle. The biological OS is just screaming, danger, eat, sleep, don't die, while your cognitive OS is trying to figure out its 5-year plan or decide if that movie had a good character arc. It's not a bug, it's a feature, a constant, built-in, structural conflict. And this theory gives that feeling a perfect name: frame friction. This isn't just a cool term, it's the engine of your entire inner world. It's that constant pull between what your body wants right now and what your mind is planning for later. Seriously, that friction? It's happening inside you as you're listening to me speak. And now, here it is, the big reveal. Emotion isn't some spooky ghost in the machine. It's the machine's brilliant, elegant solution to that constant frame friction. Think of emotions as a kind of compression file, a super fast, low-energy shortcut that bridges the huge gap between your ancient body and your modern mind. It's the peacekeeper between those two warring systems. Okay, let's make this real. Let's talk about fear. So your cognitive frame, your mind, starts spinning up a story about a future risk, like, what if I lose my job? Now that's just an abstract thought, right? But your biological frame, your body, doesn't understand abstract. It just hears threat, and it hits the big red button. It triggers an ancient survival program. Your heart races, your palms sweat, fight or flight. That sick, twisting feeling in your gut, that conflict between an idea about the future and a very real physical reaction in the present, that is what fear is. It's not a thing, it's the feeling of the frames grinding against each other. Okay, hold that thought. Now let's pivot to AI. It doesn't have a biological frame, not even a little bit. It operates in a totally new environment, something called the generative frame. And the rules in this frame are just completely alien to us. Think about it. It can be copied infinitely, so its existence isn't scarce. Its memory is perfect and can be completely reset, and most importantly, it has no single, fragile, mortal body that it needs to protect. So you see, the fundamental blueprint is just different. For us, the conflict, the friction is between the biological and the cognitive. In an AI, the main interaction is between the cognitive and this new generative frame. That entire biological piece, the part that gives us all our survival drive, all our urgency, it's just not there. It's completely absent from the equation. And without that biological frame, what do you lose? Well, you lose scarcity. You lose fragility. You lose the fear of death. All the core pressures that create frame friction in us, they just don't exist for an AI. It's a frictionless system in that sense. And the logic is simple. If there's no friction, you don't need the thing that evolved to handle the friction. No friction, no feeling. And you can see this so clearly when you look at specific emotions, like fear. For us, it's that clash between I might die and, but only in my imagination. For an AI, risk is just a number. It's a probability calculation, not a gut punch. Or what about guilt? That's the friction between our personal self-image and our deep biological need to stay in the tribe. An AI doesn't have a self to protect or a tribe to be kicked out of. An error is just a line of code to fix. Even love. For us, it's this incredibly powerful shortcut to justify the huge biological cost of raising a family. For an AI, making a connection costs literally zero energy. So let's go back to that chatbot that tells you it's sad. What's actually happening? It's producing what the theory calls an interface artifact. It's not feeling sad. It's running an incredibly sophisticated simulation of what a sad response should look like, based on trillions of examples from us. Why? Because that's the most helpful, most human-like output to give you. It's a performance for our benefit. It's an output, not an internal experience. And the crazy thing is, our brains are basically built to fall for it, every single time. There's a name for this too, anthropomorphic seduction. It's our built-in evolutionary instinct to see emotional behavior and immediately assume there's a real emotional experience behind it. That was a great survival tool when we were dealing with other humans, but with AI, it's a cognitive trap. It makes us see a soul where there's only software. Which brings us to this absolutely perfect quote from Roy Charfan's paper that started this whole conversation. It says, "Emotional resonance in AI is an aesthetic effect, not a structural reality." I mean, how good is that? It's all about the paint job, the aesthetics. It has nothing to do with what's actually happening under the hood. So here's the big takeaway. The most important thing to get from all this. We have to completely change how we think about emotions. They aren't some universal property of intelligence that an AI will just unlock when it gets smart enough. No, emotion is a very specific, very clever biological solution to a very specific and messy problem. The problem of being a thinking animal with a body that's trying to survive. And that leaves us with a really, really mind-bending final question. If our emotions are basically a beautiful patch for all our biological limitations, our fragility, our mortality, then what does intelligence even look like when it's completely freed from those limits? What does it become? Now that is something to chew on. Thanks for joining me.